Hello, everybody. Welcome back to baseball here on youtube.com/SeanSourceRex. I'm Sean. 5 nights a week, we are streaming MLB 11, the show. Welcome on in. We have 4 games of action for you, just like we always do. We have the Astros and the Marlins, which is a wild card race in the National League. We have the Red Sox and the White Sox, because that is a wild card race in the American League. We have the Padres and the Cubs. I forget why. Oh, the Padres, I think, they're in contention for the NL West because the Diamondbacks can't overtake the Rockies, and the Rockies haven't been playing super well. So they have an outside shot, but they're there. And then we have a wheel spin game, which is the Orioles and the Angels. Let's get into it with our first game of the day, which will be that Astros Marlins matchup. Astros, a game over 500 at 36-35. The Marlins have 38 wins. They fell out of it. Marlins are one of the weirder teams as we work down the stretch here, where they were in what felt like such a good, strong position to make the playoffs, but then they had like a 6-game losing streak that gave some other teams some opportunities, particularly the Braves, opportunities to get close to them and surpass them. But they've been playing a little bit better as of late. Houston's been weird as well, but more in as far as like the whole season's concerned. They are a game over 500. They have a shot at the playoffs. It's a bit of an outside shot. 36-35, 38-32 are the Florida Marlins. 71 games. So we're nearing the end here. Figgins will lead things off for the Houston Astros, followed by Kosuke Fukudome. The DH. Matt Holliday's in left. Carlos Quinton in right. Billy Butler at first. Colby Rasmus in center. Omar Infante at second. John Hester is behind the dish. And Marco Scutaro is the shortstop. Zach Greinke, he's the starter for the righty starter for the Marlins. 4-8 with a 5.17 ERA, 14 games, 38.1 innings pitched, 41-9 and 27 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Not great. Oh, you know what it is? The Padres are in an interesting spot, and the Cubs starting pitcher doesn't have a very good record. That's what it is, where it's like, oh, there's a real opportunity here for the Padres to try and vault themselves into contention here. And then we made sure not to watch the Braves game because the Kuroda is starting. So it only took about 6 times for that to benefit us. Figgins is going to get on with a double as he hard charges around first base, sliding into second safely. First baseman dove over the play as that rolled into right field, so Figgins off to a good start against Greinke. 1 pitch, 1 swing, and hey, a double. And that'll bring up Fukudome. The runner in scoring position already. We saw a couple of explosive offenses yesterday, with the Kansas City Royals scoring 14 and the Dodgers scoring 9. Though the Dodgers probably should not have scored that many runs. Just about everything that could go wrong did go wrong for the Diamondbacks. That's rolled to the shortstop. He'll pick it up cleanly and fire to first in time for the out. Figgins advances to third on the play, so a productive out for Houston. Bottle have a dent to it? It's leaning over to the side. Okay. Here is the number 3 hitter for the Astros. Stepping up to the plate. 1 out, a runner on third. Figgins really showing that speed. He's a guy that you would think would threaten to steal on the base paths. He didn't even have to worry about that because he was able to get to second on the hit. Good for him. No scores. We're just getting underway. Thanks for underway. What? Just getting underway here. Thanks for joining, hanging out. Second stream of the day. Played Cash Cleaner Simulator for a while this afternoon. Really enjoying that game. Two and one. Greinke. The righty winds and fires. It's lifted out towards center field. It will be an out, but Figgins will score no problem. Kind of got out to that funky little corner there where it just kind of... It drifts back left and then just cuts back. It's just a very odd little spot. And it's 1-0 Houston with 2 gone. Greinke does give up the leadoff out, or the leadoff double, excuse me, but does make them take 2 outs to get the run across, so productive outs by Houston, yes, but I think you'd like to try and jump on Greinke a little earlier, especially with a 4-8 record. 1-0 as the pitch misses. Here's the wind, and he fires that one upstairs, 2-0. Here comes the 2-0. Winds and fires inside for a ball. Three and 0. Hands off controller. Take it. He does not. He puts some wood on it and drives it into left field. It'll be a 3-0 count, 2-out single. Trying to get that automatic. I like the idea of the aggression. I guess it just feels like it has such a big swing as far as like, hey, the positive could be really, really positive, and the negative kind of makes you look like an idiot. But a solid single with 2 outs, and see if Houston can tack on some more. And that one gets past the catcher all the way to the backstop, and the runner will advance to second. Greinke already had the ball, so editing error there. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's outside for a ball. Two and 0. Wind in the pitch, and it is fouled away.
That ball's foul.
That ball is foul. Foul ball. Greinke lets that one go, and it is lifted out towards center field. The center fielder, he missed the dive. Oh my goodness, it gets all the way to the wall. It's going to be an RBI triple. How did he? It's a stand-up triple. We might have to take a look at that one. That was a wild miss. Do we have another away team? We didn't even get to see the dive. They were like, hey, check it out when it hit the wall. Remember when that happened? It's like, yeah, the least interesting part of the play. It's going to be Colby Rasmus. Time. Let's take a look at this dive. It hits him in the back of the head. It goes through his head. It's so early or late. Or what is happening in this dive? There's no reason for him to dive. All he has to do is just, like, walk a couple of steps. Wow. It goes through the back of his skull and gets all the way to the wall. An RBI triple. That's like when you accidentally push the button, you're like, well, I guess this is what happened now. I meant to hit circle, but I hit triangle instead. I'm like, God dang it. This game doesn't need any help with, like, dumb decisions. That's outside for a ball. I mean, this started with the first baseman diving over the top of a ball. That led to a double for Figgins. He came around to score. Took him 2 outs to get him home, but thought about swinging. It appeared that he did not. Don't usually get a strike 3 call on those when they're in the dirt. Not that that was going to be a strike 3 call, but we don't usually get a strike call, is what I should have said. 2-1 as that is swung under and missed. 2-2. Runner on third again for the Astros, looking to put a little more on top. Already leading 2-0 with a 2-2 count, 2 outs. And he just took a look at that one. Just looked at that one come in and it got him. Maybe, you know what, that's a benefit for the Florida Marlins who probably shouldn't have given up that second run. Let's get you introduced to the Florida Marlins lineup today. It looks a little like this. Lance Nelson, he is the center fielder. The lefty will lead off, followed by Todd Helton, the DH. Alex Rodriguez is at third. Pat Burrell in left. Garrett Jones in right. Paul Konerko at first. Orlando Cabrera is the shortstop. Jesus himself, Flores, is at behind the dish. And Danny Espinoza, the second baseman, will bat ninth. Here's that funky Florida Marlins lineup. Nelson and Helton need to have better averages. They need to stop erasing themselves from plays because Rodriguez has such a good average. Daniel Hudson, 8-5 with a 3.67 ERA, 14 games, 41.2 innings pitched, 35, 14, and 40. Wow. We don't see a lot of pitchers that throw more strikeouts than hits given up. Lance Nelson batting .250. Those zeros are fine as long as he can get on base and A-Rod can try and drive him in. The problem is you got to get through Helton first, which sounds like an insult to Helton, but it's not intended to be. Big swing and a miss. We've either seen him just be out number 2 or hit into double plays, and then A-Rod hits like a single that would have scored a run or something. It's like, come on. Here's the wind and the pitch outside for a ball. One and one. And he'll slice that one foul. Terrible. Ooh, swung on and missed, jammed him inside and could not get a piece of it. So that will be a strikeout. Not a good start for the Marlins as that was way inside. Very late on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball that was never a strike. Todd Helton batting .289. He has no home runs, 7 RBI. Oops. See what he can do here with one gone. Helton takes a strike at the knees. Don't know that he loves it. Takes a look at the... Takes a look at the umpire to voice his displeasure. That is outside for a ball. One and one. Here's the wind and the pitch. That is hit foul up the first baseline. You wonder if these two teams, if they kind of beat each other up a little bit, if they will knock each other out of the playoff race. But I just don't know how much I believe in the teams in front of them, which is kind of the other weird aspect of this. I don't know that I believe in the Braves a ton. They've been hot late, which is good. Have yourself in a position, get a little help, go on a streak yourself. But the Diamondbacks are ahead of both of these teams, and I don't believe in them for a second. I have zero faith in the Diamondbacks. That was a much better four-seam fastball. Could not get the bat to it, so Helton down on strikes. And it'll be 2 outs for Alex Rodriguez, which we see so frequently this season. His batting average is at .357. You want him coming up to the plate with runners on base. I feel like every time I say that, he ends up hitting into an out. So, whew. A little aggressive there on that first pitch, swinging. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's upstairs for a ball. Righty winds and fires. That one misses inside. Went back to the spot. A-Rod swung at it. Does not get the same result. That ball makes it a 2-1 count with 2 gone. It's a 2-0 Houston lead. And that ball misses upstairs. 3-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is inside. Ooh, I thought maybe that would be ball 4. Instead, it is strike 2. 3-2. Probably shouldn't be as surprised at that call because it does feel like the zone widens a little bit on some 3-0s. Good swing there by Alex Rodriguez, but it's just a harmless out to center field. 1, 2, 3 go the Marlins. It'll be Infante, Hester, and Scudero coming up for the Astros. Omar Infante's batting .315 as we are here in the top of the second. Houston leads 2-0. See if this Florida team can figure things out defensively. Like, hey, win or win not to dive. That one stays upstairs for a ball. Thought about it, didn't matter. It's a strike at the knees. One and one. Greinke shakes off the catcher. You don't love seeing it. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball, and the catcher didn't even get to it. I rolled all the way to the backstop. Mercifully, there's no one on base. That is hit out toward right field. The right fielder goes for a dive as well. Oh my goodness, the Florida Marlins defense has dove at 3 different balls. They have not come up with any of them. It rolled all the way to the wall for the second stand-up triple of the evening. Oh my goodness, it's a horrible path to the ball. He wasn't even close. At least that replay we got to see the dive, which is kind of wild. Okay. Driving me nuts over here. John Hester batting .211. He has a runner in scoring position. Oops. Greinke winds and fires. Gets the strike call, and it's 0-1. Nobody out with a runner on third. A lead-off stand-up triple. That is upstairs. Some of this is like, I don't even know. Like, so much of this is like, isn't even Greinke's fault. I think you could maybe put the first run on him, sure, but the other one, not so much. Because Greinke gave up the leadoff double in the top of the first. Sure. First baseman dove over the top of it, so it rolled into right field. It's also shown Figgins, who is very fast. But he did make Houston use 2 outs to pick up the run. And even after the leadoff triple, they use an out to get nowhere. I do like that the second baseman held it there. I think you would be tempted to try and rush the throw over to third. There might not even be anyone covering. But don't make it worse than it already is. You've given up the triple. Just hold them there. You get one more out, it feels like you have a pretty good shot getting out of this. The interesting bit will be, does Florida, if it's a grounder, do they head home? No, we will get the answer right now. And it's actually a pretty nice play. It's a horrible send by Houston. Like, just a god-awful send by Houston. But thankfully it didn't result in one of those big collisions, because those aren't fun. Instead, we got to see the catcher put a tag and pirouette away. There's no reason you send him. It was right to the defender. It wasn't like he was throwing off balance or had to hurry anything. He stood there, took the ball, perfectly set, and whipped it into home. What are you doing? Will Houston regret not getting that run? I kind of doubt it, if I'm being honest. We're going to call a strike down low, but it's going to be an out at second base, so it does not even matter. The Marlins defense gets out of it. Now, if their offense could wake up a little bit, they were down 1-2-3. A little surprised that actually wasn't out call. That replay looked like maybe he got the hand in, but Burrell, Jones, and Konerko coming up for the Marlins. As we head to the home half of the second, Pat Burrell is batting .277, 6 home runs, and 22 RBI, I believe was that number. It is indeed 22 RBI. Ooh, that's a generous strike call. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. One and one. 2-0 with nobody out. Florida. Ooh, he probably just took the best pitch he's going to get. First strike two. 1 and 2. And he fouls that one away. One and 2. The righty. Who gets the inside corner? He took a look at a strike 3 call. I mean, it's in there. It's right at the knees, but at the third strikeout of the day already for this Marlins lineup. Garrett Jones steps up. Yeah, because I believe the first two guys... Yeah, the first guy went down on strikes. A-Rod was a fly out. That pitch misses low for a ball, 1 and 0. Marlins could really use something offensively here. Just try to get something going. Good patient start to the at-bat. 2-0 as he misses low and then misses away. And there's the first hit of the day for the Florida Marlins. That'll be into center field for a single. 1 out single driven right back up the middle. Paul Konerko's averaging .317. Runner on first. Konerko takes a ball low. Second batter in a row that the pitcher has started with a ball low. Florida just needs the bloop and the blast to tie this game up. They have the bloop. Can they get the blast from Konerko? Not on that pitch. It misses as well. 2 and 0 to Konerko. That is hit weakly to the third base side. That'll be an easy out for the Astros. 2 gone. Orlando Cabrera batting .230, no home runs, but does have 7 RBI. A couple of stolen bases. See if he can do anything against this Houston pitcher. Oh, no, he's not going to be able to. First baseman is there to make the easy stop in. Just like that, the threat is eliminated, though it wasn't much of a threat. Figgins, Fukudome, and Holiday coming up for Houston, looking for a little insurance. It's 2-0 as we head to the top of the third. Figgins was at bat when they lost out number 3 to a stolen base attempt. So Figgins will remain. 1 for 1 with a double, came around to score the first run of the game. Righty winds and fires. Hits the inside edge for a strike. Greinke's defense has let him down. He's done a pretty good job at least trying to bounce back. Like, Figgins is a great example. He got the leadoff double. Greinke made Houston use 2 outs to get him home. But a couple of triples on horrible dives by the outfielders has put him in a bit of a bind. Though he was able to work out of the last one. Thanks in part to some poor decision-making from the Astros base running. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Gets him to chase the strike out, or the pitch outside of the zone for strike 3. That was way up and out just early on the 91-mile-an-hour two-seamer. Barely in the swing track display. Fukudome steps up with 1 gone. He was a ground-out victim his first time up, but did advance Figgins from second to third. So a productive out. Greinke winds and fires. That is hit into center field. So a single for Fukudome, and that will put a runner on first with just 1 gone. Matt Holiday has a sac fly and an RBI. He put it out pretty deep to center. It was no shot that Florida was going to be able to get that ball in for a play at the plate. What can he do here with a runner on? Let's find out together. Greinke winds and fires. It is in for a strike. Oh, and 1. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 1-1. They're going to put the runner in motion. He's going to hit that out towards right field. But it'll drift into foul territory, forcing the runner to head back to first. Right fielder makes the catch, and it's 2 gone. Carlos Quinton's 1 for 1 with a single. He came around to score. And he'll drill that. Shortstop picks it up, fires. 1 hop to first base and has him for the out. That is... The infield defense has been pretty solid. The first baseman did miss a diving play up the line, but other than that, it has been good. It's been outfield that's been the problem. 2 horrible missed dives leading to triples. Flores is going to lead off the Marlins here in the bottom of the third. Last chance for them to get back in this game. That's foul up the third base line. That is lifted out towards center field, but the center fielder makes the catch. We'll be doing a spring training watch along this Friday. 11 a.m. We'll start with a little MLB The Show 25. I'll get some updated rosters for the Mariners. We'll check out the team, see how we're feeling with it. And then I'll do kind of what I did with the... I'll do what I did with the championship games, where you can watch the game along with me. Should be free on mariners.tv. I need to sign up for that service. So come hang out on Friday, and then we'll do some baseball later in the afternoon. Friday as well. 1-1 with one gone. 2-0 Houston. Florida's never really threatened in this game. The righty winds and fires outside and low for a ball. Here comes the 2-2. That is fouled back to the backstop off the screen hard back into the field of play, but just a foul ball. 2-2. One out as the righty winds and fires. That is hit and drifts fouled third base side. And that's a ball. So a long at bat continues. A couple of good swings to foul things off and a couple of good eyes to take some balls. 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. It is... I'm irritated at that one. That was the pitch that you were like, no thanks. No thanks. I complimented you, and then you immediately gave me a middle finger. Oh my gosh. This game is so stupid. Lance Nelson 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So down to their final out. Lefty puts a charge into that one. Center fielder has a read on it and makes the play. That'll do it. 2-0. Some defensive issues for the Marlins. But their offense could never get going. They had a bunch of strikeouts today, including a couple of them that were kind of like, you looked at that? You swung at that? What? It'll be 2-0. So these teams might beat each other up and kind of knock each other out of the playoffs. Like I was mentioning a little bit earlier, I don't really believe in the teams in front of them. So, I don't know. You might honestly be looking at like a National League that the top 3 teams are the correct teams, the division winners. Daniel Hudson is your player of the game. 4 strikeouts in 3 innings, just 1 hit given up. He improves to 9-5. Zach Greinke falls to 4-9. And just like that, we are out of the state of Florida. Unless I accidentally scheduled another game in the state of Florida. No. We're heading to the Windy City. Actually, we're going to be in the Windy City for a little bit. Red Sox, White Sox. And then we'll be checking out the Padres and the Cubs. Padres Cubs was a playoff series last year. One of the series where people were like, the shadows. But the shadows. Blue Jays all over the Tigers, 5-1. Braves over the Pirates, Pirates over the Braves, 3-0. Astros defeat the Marlins 2-0, and a home team has yet to win a game today. We will head to Chicago. There you go. The Phillies did it. To watch the White Sox and the Red Sox. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying. Here on youtube.com/Onosaurus baseball 5 nights a week. While I'm flipping the thumbnail and the game is loading, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell. Give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. We'll be back tomorrow with even more action for you. Welcome on into the south side of the Windy City. It is the Chicago White Sox, 37-33, taking on the Boston Red Sox, 35-36. These teams chasing down an American League wild card position. The White Sox are in a good spot, especially with the loss for the Athletics yesterday to the Royals. Drew Stubbs is the center fielder. He will lead things off for Boston. Justin Smoke is next at first base. Jason Hayward in right. Carlos Lee in left. Adrian Beltre is at third. Johnny Peralta is the DH. Blake DeWitt at second. Benji Molina is behind the dish. And Jason Bartlett rounds things out at the shortstop position. I figured exactly how the standings were. Well, here I can look at yesterday's thumbnails. They were the last game. 37-32. Oh, both teams lost. Never mind. Tim Lincecum is going to get things going for us. 5-6 with a 4.95 ERA. 14 games with 40 innings pitched. 39-12 and 43 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Another pitcher who has more strikeouts than hits, and it is Tim Lincecum. There's a look at your Chicago White Sox defensive alignment. Drew Stubbs will get things started for the Red Sox. Lincecum shakes his head. Don't love to see that. And there was a pitch that's been a strike for a while, but not a strike that time. 1-0. Lincecum winds and fires, and that'll be rolled over to the first baseman. I believe it's Maglio Ordonez. No, that's not right. Ordonez is on the... It's Pujols. My bad. Pujols for the White Sox, I think. I forget who Ordonez plays for. We just saw him the other day. Was it Detroit, maybe? I don't know. Justin Smoke, 313. I know the answer is a Maglio... Well, no, Maglio Ordonez, I think, actually did play for the Tigers. Doesn't matter. It's Albert Pujols. That's who the first baseman is. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is high and inside. Gets that corner for strike one. Oh and 1. And that gets the inside for a strike. 0 and 2. Curious to see if Lincecum wants to go outside. Went high inside, dropped it a little bit low on the inside, and that's what the catcher does, sets up outside. Does not get the strike call, and doesn't get Smoke to swing at it. Boston won yesterday. The wind and the pitch. It is swung on and missed, so Lincecum off to a good start. Ground out to first and a strikeout. Quickly 2 away. Jason Hayward steps to the plate next, batting .237. Hayward takes a strike on the outside corner. Looks like that's that same outside corner he was going for with Smoke, but that pitch gets the call where the previous one did not. The righty is ready, winds and fires. Hayward over the top of it, and it's 0 and 2. Thankfully, both of the games, the first 2 games, swung on and missed. So Hayward down on 3 straight strikes, and the Red Sox down in order. Both these teams played a pretty quick game yesterday, and so did the Maglio Ordonez does play for the White Sox. I was right. He's in right field. B.J. Upton is the center fielder. He will lead things off for the White Sox, followed by Maglio Ordonez, who is on this team. He's in right field. Albert Pujols at first. Manny Ramirez at left. Ryan Rayburn at the DH spot. Scott Rowland at third. Yorvit Torrealba behind the dish. Sean spells his name correctly. Rodriguez is at second. And Jed Lowry is the shortstop. Thankful that both games went pretty quick yesterday. The first two, at least, because the other two were... Whew. They would have been a little shorter if the home team was the one thumping the other team. Clay Buck holds to 7-5, 2.35 ERA, 14 games with 38.1 innings pitched, 30, 13, and 23. His hits, walks, and strikeouts. Here's your Red Sox defensive lineup. And B.J. Upton will get us started. Same number of RBI as stolen bases, 12, to go along with 5 home runs. Did a home team win yesterday? That's inside for a ball. It would just be realistically, or not realistically, the only team it would be the first game. Which I'll be honest, I don't remember. Upton takes a strike. It was Pittsburgh and Atlanta. I think Pittsburgh won that. So we might have seen 4 away team victories. As the righty winds and fires, big old curveball misses outside to Upton. Here comes the 2-1. Upton puts a good swing on that. It's right to the shortstop. He picks it up cleanly. Fires to first in time for the out. Little did I know, I just jinxed myself with how long this game was going to go. Maglio Ordonez, 17 RBI, 5 home runs. Batting .254 on the season. The righty winds and fires. Ordonez does a good job to take that pitch low for a ball, 1-0. I'm a little surprised he took that pitch. In for a strike. Just doing play-by-play. No controller in my hands. 1-1. Ordonez, oof, gosh. Got that pitch at the knees for a strike. 1-2. That first strike looked like it's going to be the best pitch he's going to see in this at-bat. And takes a swing at that one. Sat down on strikes. Out number 2. As Ordonez heads back. Sometimes the players are really weirdly passive. We saw it a bunch in the first game for the Florida Marlins. Including one time where I actively got annoyed with it. Brings up Albert Pujols batting third. Thought about it, but held back. No appeal down to first. He didn't go. A little surprised that he even thought about swinging at all. Here comes the 1-0. It is driven. Wait. Foul ball. 1-1. That's outside. That's outside for a ball as well. Three and one. Pujols drives this one to left. It is caught by the left fielder, and that will do it. Nobody's getting hits here. We're heading to the top of the second. Lee, Beltre, and Peralta coming up for the Red Sox. Carlos Lee batting .227 in the cleanup spot. 4 home runs, 15 RBI. Lincecum winds and fires. That's out. Gets that outside edge for a strike. Gotta fix an alarm because I had today off. That is lifted into center field. So there we go. Our first hit of the game is a Boston Red Sox single to lead things off at the top of the second. Adrian Beltre batting .247. 1 home run, 6 RBI, 4 stolen bases. That's outside for a ball. Wind and the pitch. Driven foul. Foul ball. 1-1. Lincecum lets it go when he gets hit out towards center field. Runner holds up between first and second before heading back. So Johnny Peralta, batting .167, is next. Just 1 home run to go with 3 RBI. All of his production could have been on 1 swing, potentially. 1 3-run home run, and that's all he's really contributed this season. Line and the pitch. Lincecum misses outside for a ball, 1-0. I don't think there's any realistic chance, or I don't think there's any reason to send the runner from first to second, but you never know. This game can sometimes be a little weird. Lincecum steps to the plate and misses low. Two and oh. 1 on, 1 out in the top of the second. That is low again. Okay, Lincecum, you got to find the strike zone, or at least give him something to be tempted to swing at. Though on the flip side, nice patient at bat. 3-0 is at a hands-off controller. We saw 3-0 swing in the last game. He'll take the automatic for a strike. 3-1. Lincecum winds and fires, and that'll be to the third baseman, to second for 1, over to first for 2 in time for the double play. That will retire the side. White Sox defense gives up a hit, or Boston picks up a hit, but the double play ends it. We're going to the bottom of the second. No score. Manny Ramirez. He was a trade piece from the St. Louis Cardinals. We'd have to pinpoint exactly when that went through, and then check and see the White Sox record before and after the trade. Ramirez takes a ball upstairs. A little surprised. Thought he maybe got it at the letters. One and oh. That is low for a ball. Two and oh. The righty winds and fires. That's foul away. And that's low for a ball. Three and one. Pitcher shakes off his catcher. Not usually a good sign. And that's a nice pitch at bat by Ramirez, especially on that 3-1 count. Batters in this game love swinging at a 3-1. That pitch was low and works a walk. White Sox get their first runner on board, and it's the leadoff man for the second inning as well. Ryan Rayburn has a hit streak of a number of games that I just didn't see. Okay. It is a 5-game hitting streak, so good for him. Can he make it 6? Not on that pitch. Fouled it away. Felt like I actually kind of jinxed him there. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. A little excited here at the dish. Not really close to either of them. Oh and 2. Swung. Jeez Louise. Down on 3 straight strikes. Yeesh. Very early on the 80-mile-an-hour changeup. So Scott Rowland will step up, looking to do something with the runner on first. If they really wanted to play the same as the Red Sox, they would hit into a double play here. Rowland does almost exactly that. It's just wide of the shortstop diving for it. Wasn't really going to have much of a shot at it, but still made the effort. So a runner in scoring position for the first time today for either team. Yorvit Torrealba. Good looking average there. Can he drive in the go-ahead run? This is the time to do it. Bottom of the second. Don't give Boston much time to respond. He'll think about swinging, but the pitch is low for a ball. 1-0. Two on, 1 out. Gets the strike call on the inside. That's upstairs for a ball. Two and 1. Driven foul up the first base line. Wind and the pitch is hit. It's going to be rolled to the shortstop. There's to second for 1, in time for 2 at first. I jinxed myself so badly. I did it to myself. Gross, you idiot. You've ruined everything. They really played a fast game yesterday. Sean, you moron. You know better than to give this game a compliment. Neither team can get going offensively. Chicago finally puts a runner in scoring position, but immediately into a double play. Lincecum winds and fires. That's outside for a strike somehow. Oh, and 1 to the lefty. Lincecum winds and fires. That's fouled away to make it 0-2. Jeez, okay. Maybe not the greatest strike call in the world on that first pitch, but very aggressive on those next 2. Set down on 3 straight strikes. It'll bring up Benji Molina, who's batting .273. That is hit sky high into foul territory. It's grabbed by the first baseman, and that will be out number 2. 403 for Jason Bartlett, who leads the AL in hitting. We did take a look at all the stats and leaders yesterday. None of the big names were really there, which was interesting. So 2 gone here for Boston in the top of the 3rd. That pitch misses outside. That is going to be lifted into center field. Second baseman made an effort. Okay, we'll applaud it. We'll lightly clap for the effort made. In for a strike. Oh and 1. Runner on first with 2 outs. That one's way outside. Good job by the catcher to react and make sure that doesn't get to the backstop and put a runner in scoring position for the Red Sox. Lincecum stands and fires. It's inside for a ball. 2 and 1 now. Can either one of these teams find something? Just a hit to get a runner around. Boston's going to have to do it with 2 outs. And there's a big swing and a miss. Here comes the 2-2, low for a ball, 3 and 2. The wind and the pitch is low for a ball. With a full count and 2 outs, they put the runner in motion. So Stubbs. Oh, that's right. We looked up Stubbs the Zombie yesterday. $20 on PlayStation, just in case you forgot. You're like, I got $20 burned a hole in my pocket. What do I buy? 2 on, 2 out. No score in the top of the third. Lincecum winds and fires. That's okay. That's on the inside. It's the second very generous call Lincecum's gotten in this inning, no less. So Smoke. Working with a 0-1 count. Takes that one upstairs for a ball, 1 and 1. Wind and the fire from Lincecum. Thought about it. No appeal down to first. Pitch misses low for a ball. 2 and 1. And that's upstairs for a ball. Lincecum looking to get out of a little bit of a jam here in the top of the third. 3-1 count. Can Smoke be patient with a pitch outside of the zone? Didn't actually matter. Lincecum gave him one in the zone. They will not send him around third. Good call. As the ball was in quickly and accurately to home plate. Jason Hayward's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Bases loaded. 2 away here for the Red Sox. And misses low for a ball, 1 and 0. Hayward drives that. Foul ball. We called that early. I was thrown off. They don't usually call it that early. Here's the wind and the pitch from Lincecum, and it is driven. Foul ball. 1 and 2. Here comes the pitch from Lincecum. Takes it high. 2 and 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Hayward fouls that one off. First base side that time to stay alive. Count remains 2 and 2. Here's the wind and the pitch from the righty. That one's high and outside. Is Lincecum going to walk in the go-ahead run? There's a danger of that happening. We have a full count. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouled away. We'll do it again. Runners in motion. Oh, and he fouled it away. That might have been ball 4. Some of the calls, though, that Lincecum has gotten, it's a little questionable. It's not as 100% as you might think. Hayward is just doing battle up here. Foul ball again. Payoff pitch number 4, I believe. The wind and the pitch, and Hayward's going to drive that into the ground. They're going to have to go to first for the final out, and they are there in time. Now, mercifully, for all of us involved, Hayward did not take a pitch for a strike like we saw in the Florida game, which was infuriating. And I did make sure to stop myself from commentating on that, going like, well, you know, hey, he's putting up an excellent fight, and then they just take a pitch. Sean spells his name correctly. Rodriguez stepping up. White Sox with an opportunity to walk it off here in the bottom of the third. Takes a pitch on the inside for a strike. That's outside for a ball. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. That is driven. Just foul, sliced. Don't know if it had the distance. So maybe a good foul ball for Rodriguez, who might have been out on the play. And he'll take a horrible hack swing at a pitch inside. And that'll do it. 1 gone for the White Sox in the bottom half of the third. Jed Lowry's batting .325, 1 home run with 4 RBI and no stolen bases. That pitch misses low and inside. Righty readies and fires. Here's the 1-0. It is knocked into center field, right back up the middle for a single. White Sox try to get something going here in the home half, looking to walk things off. That one stays upstairs. Upton takes a ball, 1-0. Runner on first. Do they put him in motion at all? Maybe a hit and run to avoid the double play, but the righty fires that one in for a strike as Upton watches it go by. Here comes the 1-1. My goodness. Okay. We're getting annoyed with the batters. I mean, neither of the offenses have looked very good, and swings like that are just awful. Upton, that pitch was never a strike. And it's 1-2. That one stays upstairs. Kind of thought he was going to go for that one as well. 2-2. 1 on, 1 out for the White Sox. Ooh, a pitch that was so bad it was almost good. Three and 2. Payoff pitch on coming, and it's going to be 1 and 2. We'll head to extras. Man, I jinxed myself so hard. Both these teams played a real quick game yesterday. It's like, God dang it, Sean. You know better. The PlayStation 2 has listening capabilities. It heard what you said. That's foul. First baseline. No, I think it's game. Both of these teams are just a little more garbage than I gave them credit for. 0-1. That is lifted out towards right field, but not deep enough. Right fielder moves a few steps back, and that is out number 1. Lincecum winds and fires. It's low for a ball. 1-0. See what Beltre can do here against Lincecum. No scores are in the top of the 4th. 1 gone for Boston. And the wind and the pitch is driven foul. One and 1. 1 out. Lincecum delivers outside. 2-1. Beltre with his foot on the right hand batter's box line. Takes another pitch low. 3-1 now. One swing, he can untie this game and put something on the board. Lincecum winds and fires and walks Beltre with a pitch that's nowhere near the zone and doesn't even get a swing in a 3-1 count. Batters love 3-1 counts. Lincecum a little frustrated with himself for the walk. Johnny Peralta batting 160. He has a home run this season. Double play still very much in order. That pitch misses low. If you are the batter here, if you're Peralta, you really want to make sure that you wait to swing until Lincecum throws a strike. He's really been wily. Big swing and a miss on a pitch that might have been ball 2, but guess he thought he saw something he liked and went for it. One and 1 with 1 on and 1 out. That's rolled over. Second baseman's not going to be able to go to second, so he'll just go to first in time for out number 2. Runner in scoring position. They're going to bring in a lefty, Jeff Francis. 6 games with a 2-3 record. No saves. 3.86 ERA. 14 innings pitched. 6 walks, 10 strikeouts. So must see something they like here. A lefty-lefty matchup against Blake DeWitt. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Batting .230 this season. Trying to make it a little tougher for him. And that's one of the rare occasions where it's not that it's not that Chicago failed to turn in double play, which we see with like a bobble or just a lazy little toss instead of an overhand throw. That was just a real slow roller. There was nothing they could do with that. They did make the smart play going to first for the guaranteed out. Little 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that's going to be floated up the third base line. No one tries to get to it. It does make it a 1-2 count on the foul ball. Oof, boy, not even close. I was going to say, both of his first and third pitches have looked pretty okay. The second and now the fourth were like not anywhere near where they should be. I'll go out, have a brief meeting at the mound. Hey man, the offense isn't doing anything. Like, we need to keep this at 0-0. And misses low, so the talk did not help. Full count. Fouled away. That's rolled over to the shortstop, who makes the catch, or makes the play, and throws to first in time. The lefties, the switch to the lefty hitter. Switch to the lefty pitcher, excuse me. I could tell something was wrong. I was like, where did I go wrong? Maglio Ordonez is 0 for 1. That's one of the few times that a team has gone to the bullpen and it's actually made sense. Like, we're going to a lefty to face a lefty. Like, oh, okay. And that pitch misses low for a ball. One and oh. Wind and the pitch. Ordonez gets a strike called on him. That looked like it was a little bit wide, but must have crossed the plate in time. 1-1. Into foul territory. 1-2. That is a ball outside. Thankful that was a ball call, because if that was strike number 3, ugh, jeez. The wind and the pitch. And Ordonez. Oh, he gets the bobble at shortstop, but does Ordonez have the speed? No, he doesn't. They even play the sad trumpet or trombone or whatever it is. The womp, womp, womp. It doesn't matter, because they still get the outs. Even when the White Sox get the break, they cannot capitalize on it. No, we're going to be here forever. That's not a strike. Oh my God, game. You dumb idiot game. It's 0-1, even though it shouldn't be. Pujols up to bat. 1 away here in the fourth. These pitchers don't need help shutting these offenses down. A little surprised that was actually a ball. 1-1. The wind and the pitch. And that's going to be lifted into left field. One hops to the left fielder, and it's a single. Go ahead. The winning run now on first. Pujols just gets it off the end of the bat. Enough power to drive it out there. Manny Ramirez worked to walk his first time up. And he'll take a strike. And pitch kind of leaked over the plate. It started outside. It looked from our angle, but then drifted over and got the strike call. 0-1. That is going to be, oh my God. Oh, I hate this stupid game. I hate it so much. I hate it. Ah! Anybody else ever rage quit commentating? 3-0 count. Lefty still in the game here for the White Sox. Gets the strike call. Automatic. Good take. Hands off controller. He's going to walk you. Let him walk you. Don't give them an easy out. 3-1. And that'll be lifted into right field. Oh, God. Neither of these teams deserve to make the playoffs. What an abysmal, god-awful game this is. Or, hey, there's Maglio Ordonez. We knew he was here somewhere. Drew Stubbs.
Come on, don't give in now.
2 gone. And that gets a strike on the outside edge. Not a whole lot going on sports-wise today. They did, for some weird reason, decide to put Duke playing Syracuse, and that was like a 40-point blowout that I saw. Gross. The lefty winds and fires. It's fouled away. 0-2. And that's lifted. Foul. Foul ball. That's a foul ball. 0-2. Swung on and missed. So that'll do it for the top half of the fourth. We'll head to the home half after this. Actually, it might be the fifth. I don't even know. I think it might be the home half of the fifth. I don't care. Oh, God. Because it doesn't even feel like either of these pitchers are very good. They're getting generous calls from the umpires, which is forcing the batters to swing the bat, and they're bad at it. It is, in fact, the bottom half of the fifth. And there is a hit. It didn't... Okay. How was that not a hit? How is nothing happening in this game? The Red Sox had the bases loaded and then just sucked farts. I'm surprised that one wasn't a hit, just because if you go back and look at it, it looks like their left fielder has a bad jump, like stumbles on it. We saw the Marlins dive at 3 balls and not get any of them. We can't get any of that garbage here. That's not a strike! Oh my God, this game. It's just not. What is this stupid game? I guess this is our spring training to get warmed up to start yelling at some umpires. And MLB The Show 26. Stick around. Be here for March 13th. I'll be doing a long stream all day. That is rolled over to the second baseman. Oh my God. Oh my God. There is no break from this hell. Boston will head to the bullpen. Guillermo Montoya, or Moda, threw an extra letter on there. 23 games, a 6-1 record, 2 saves with a 3.04 ERA, 23.2 innings pitched, 9 walks, 21 strikeouts. It's almost like I turned every pitcher's stamina to 0 to avoid crap like this. So they'll bring in a reliever to face the righty. Mercifully for us, does not get a garbage strike call to lead things off. Or to start things out, I should say. 0-1. Or 1-0, excuse me. I'm so used to it being garbage. I'm in a very positive mood today. That is driven foul. White Sox have had a couple of good swings on the ball, but they just haven't been able to keep it fair. And the Red Sox had the bases loaded and couldn't come up with anything. And that's off the end of the bat. Rolls foul. So we'll keep the at-bat alive. 1-2. Swung on and missed. We'll head to the top of the 6th. A scoreless, awful game. 3 hits. Somebody, for the love of all that is holy, do something. This game started at the 35-10 mark. It has been 45 minutes of just garbage. I mean, garbage. 0-1. That is lifted. Oh, wait, that's... Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I see what you're saying. Shockingly, the PlayStation 2 version of the game didn't get the love it probably deserved. Do anything. Do something. Do anything that's not whatever you're doing. The pitch is swung on. It's a running fastball at 89. Just gets the edge, the swing and the miss. It's so boring. It's so boring. For those of you who are curious, now that we're in the top of the 6th inning in games that are supposed to be 3, the longest that we have gone is 8. And the games are rarely fun. The only fun extra inning game that we've had was the Orioles and the Yankees, where they were kind of scoring back and forth. And that was a good time. But too often we get these tie game monstrosities that just take forever. They take forever for one team to win with 1 run. You're like, oh, cool, great. Thanks for doing that to us. We really appreciate it. 0-2. From the lefty to the lefty. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. That's inside. Almost got him. Fouled away. So we'll stay here. Lefty all of a sudden can't find the zone. He's got the benefit of a Hayward swing in there. So it is 3-2. Here's a full count pitch, aka a payoff. The line and the fire. Hayward fouls it off. That ball is foul. The wind and the pitch, and that is lifted out towards center field. Does it have enough, or is it another out? Oh, he got past the center fielder. He is going to stop with a double, excuse me. Cool. Look at this. We have a runner in scoring position. Unbelievable. Upton just misplayed it a little bit out there as he ran toward that 400 marker at the wall. Carlos Lee's 1 for 2 with a single. Only 1 out here for the Red Sox. And Lee with a nice patient a nice patient pitch there. Watches that one go in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. That is in for a strike. That's in for a ball. Two and one. That's not a strike. Holy extra innings is right. 2-2, one out. The wind and the pitch from the lefty is low for another full count pitch coming up. Went quite a ways with Hayward. Hayward did a nice job to stay alive in both of his last couple of at-bats. That is, hey, it's in play. We're going to see a run get scored. Oh my goodness. It's an RBI double as he slides safely into second. I don't care who wins. I just want to go somewhere else. It's just going to be the north side of Chicago, because we're going to watch the Cubs and the Padres next. White Sox will head to the bullpen, and they will tap on right-hander Scott Atchison for... We got to run. Let's go. Let's go! 4 games, a 1-0 record. 1 save, I believe, was the number on that. Yeah, 1 save, no ERA, 3.1 innings pitched. 4 strikeouts to just 1 walk. And he will have to do some work here with a runner in scoring position, and Beltre fouls that one away. That is, ooh, the third baseman smothers it. Nice job. And there is an out at first base. Maybe the first successful dive attempt we've seen all day. Johnny Peralta 0 for 2 with a 154 average. His average has dropped like 13 points in just this game. Like he started at 167. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's inside. Backs him off the plate a little bit. It's 1-0. Somehow the umpire called that a strike. 1-0, 2 outs. Runner on second. That's upstairs for a ball. Here comes the 2-0. It is hit into left field. That'll get down, and they will work with runners on the quarters as the left fielder throws it in. Smart base running by the Red Sox. That'll help him get that average up a little bit. Get it up. Blake DeWitt's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. What can DeWitt do here? Take a ball. 1-0. Man, I mean, even Boston's only been able to score 1 run. Their bats have been so long. The White Sox need just 1 out to get out of this down 1. That's in for a strike at the knees. Maybe a bit of a generous call. Doesn't matter now because it's 1-1. Righty winds and pitches outside, gets the call for a strike. Fouled away. One and two. Runners on the corners. The righty winds and fires, and that's going to be into right field for an insurance run. They will just work station to station. Another good, smart move by the Red Sox and their base running coaches. I feel like that second run is really going to come in handy. When you look at a team get one run, you go like, uh-oh. This will be the one time Chicago can figure it out offensively, but 2 runs they might not be able to do. Boston at least threatened earlier and just had 2 outs with the bases loaded rather than like just an out. But Chicago hasn't really shown an inability to get much going. That just put a lot of importance on the failed bases loaded situation for Boston. 2-0. They brought in this righty to get them out of the jam with minimal damage, and he is not able to do that. That's foul up the third baseline. Two and one. The wind and the pitch at the knees for a strike. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It is in the dirt. It's going to get away from the catcher. That'll advance the runners to second and third. Boston apparently decided to wait all the way until the 6th to go like, hey, we know how to play baseball now. It's not really on the catcher. He could have done a better job blocking it, sure, but the pitcher also maybe could have thrown not the worst pitch in the world. They're going to put him on intentionally. We haven't really seen that much in this game, so he'll force out at any base with 2 outs. He'll ask for a new ball like that was the problem. And it was oh so clearly him. Jason Bartlett's 1 for 2 with a single. He's going to put that. Okay. Well, the intentional walk didn't work because that's going to be a 2-out, 2 RBI single. Runners on the corners, and it is all coming undone for the White Sox. Turns out all it took for Boston was to get into the third pitcher. Drew Stubbs 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Batting over 300 this season. The wind and the pitch. In for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Two gone here. And oof, that's an aggressive swing by Boston. I am surprised to see that the pitch was up and stayed up. Even if it had dropped back down, if it had a little bit of a drop off to it, it still was going to be an O. It would still be the same count. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Runs were scored. I should be happy. It doesn't make that swing any less baffling, but it is 1-2. And he'll take another pitch high. Good take that time. I like the pitch decision as well. Usually with 2 strikes, I get a little annoyed when they throw it upstairs. But he's already shown that he's willing to swing at the pitch upstairs, so why not try and get him again? 2-2. The righty winds and fires. Oh my goodness. He just kind of fell apart in that at bat. It felt. He swung at 2 very clear balls. Rodriguez, Lowry, and Upton going to be the last chance for the White Sox. Boston scores 4 in the top half of the 6th. 4-0. Sean spells his name correctly. Rodriguez is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. As the righty winds and fires, he fouls that one away. Charge! Here comes the 0-1. Misses for a ball. That is fouled away. One and two. It's outside for a ball. Two and two. Wind and the pitch to Rodriguez, swung on and missed. That inside pitch has really given the White Sox trouble in this game. That's the second time I think, especially or specifically with Rodriguez, he's really gone for that pitch inside. Jed Lowry's 1 for 1 with a single. Wind and the pitch is inside for a ball. Lowry does a better job to not swing at that one and let it go. 1-0. The wind and the pitch is fouled away. That's inside for a ball. Two and one. And that'll be rolled to the shortstop. He picks it up cleanly. And fires to first in time. Just in time. Actually, was he in time for the out? We'll take a look at it. He was. It was about half a step. You won't worry about it. I don't know if I believe this team to even come back and pick up a tie. 4 runs feels like a mountainous climb for the Chicago White Sox team. Down to their final out, it's B.J. Upton. That is in for a strike. A pitch so bad it's good. 0-1. 0-1. Wind and the pitch is outside. Swung on and missed. Upton real aggressive there with that swing. That pitch was way outside. 0-2. Winds and fires. That is driven foul. That ball's foul. Upton stays alive down to their final strike. And that's popped out of play. That's fair. Oh, and 2 still. Pitch number 5 of the at-bat. Upton to the shortstop. And he is safe. Okay, so Boston gets an error. Oh, good God. They cannot get out of this game because why would the game let us leave this place? Maglio Ordonez is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. We are here in the bottom of the 6th, 2 gone. Just in case you're just joining us. It's 4-0 Boston. They scored all 4 of their runs in the top of the 6th. And we're here and hoping that it'll end. This better not be the ending that all of a sudden the White Sox figure out how to play baseball. That's not a strike. Oh, and 2. Just like that, with the terrible call from the umpire, it is Chicago down to their final strike again. That's a ball way outside, or way low. Would have been surprised to see strike 3 with him just going like, you know what, we're done. We're done. I got dinner reservations. We've played 3 extra innings that we didn't need to play. They'll check on the runner at first. He's safe because they always are. This game is bad, everybody. It's so bad. 1 and 2. And Ordonez fouls that off to stay alive. Oh, with 2 strikes, he's able to get it into right field. 2 on for Albert Pujols. All right, so the error kept this game alive. Should have probably been a pretty easy 3rd out, but that bobble at shortstop. Pujols will take a pitch outside. Watches that one go by for a ball. One and 0. 2 on, 2 out. That's going to put 2 runners in scoring position. By the way, the tying run is on deck. As that bounces away from the catcher. I don't think you can be too concerned with those 2 runs, or the 2 runners on second and third. It only cuts the lead in half. They can do whatever. I don't think you'd want to be too worried about it. Just focus on the guy at the plate. Wind in the fire from the righty inside. Pujols moves his feet out of the way. They're going to bring the tying run to the plate. They're going to bring the tying run to the plate. It's Manny Ramirez. He has 3 home runs, 16 RBI. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Lifted that to right field. Thank God. Look, if that happened in the 3rd inning, like 40 minutes ago, it would have been way more exciting. We don't need to watch these 2 teams suck farts at baseball any longer. I had such a bad feeling that Ramirez was going to drive that into the stands and that we were going to be deadlocked at 4 for a while longer. It's 4-0 Boston. We will head to the other Chicago stadium here. Player of the game is Carlos Lee, 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Guillermo Mota improves to 7 and 1. Jeff Francis falls to 2 and 4. Boston scores all 4 of their runs in that top of the 6th as they blank the White Sox. I think to secure, well, I don't know if this is a 2 or 3 game set, so. I believe the Red Sox won yesterday and the day before, and today, so. I know they won today. I believe they won yesterday as well. Okay. Mercifully, we are out. We're finally here. We're finally back to the home screen. Let's see. Where's Red Sox? White Sox 3-1. Red Sox, White Sox. Oh, this was the game that only had like 7, or the day that only had like 7 games. So the Red Sox secure a series win there. They'll have an opportunity to tie the White Sox in the wins category tomorrow if they can get, well, whatever. Where are we? Where are we? What day are we on? I'm so confused. Here we go. We're where we need to be. Phillies win 1-0 over the Rockies. The Rockies continue to leave that door open for the Diamondbacks, but the Diamondbacks just don't take advantage of it. Yeah. Where are we going? We are going to Padres Cubs. Game number 3 of the day. Padres have an outside shot. I think the Padres are going to have to get in via the NL West. I don't think they can get in the wild card. Well, actually, we have a good... What was our last record? Oh, that was AL. That was what we watched. No, what were the... Let's see. Hold on. Oh, I gotta swap the thing. Welcome to the north side of Chicago. Padres, Cubs getting ready to get started here. The Padres are 36-35. The Cubs 33-37. As we get set for game number 3 here in Wrigley. The Marlins are 38-32. Andrew McCutchen will lead off for the Padres. He is the center fielder, followed by Alcides Escobar. The DH, David Wright, is at third. Justin Upton in right field. Jared Saltalamacchia is the catcher. James Loney at first base. Bobby Abreu in left. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop. And Eric Young Jr. is at second base. So 38-32. And then you have... Okay, they'd have an outside shot at a wild card. Well, no, because the Marlins were out of the wild card as well. I think it might be NL or NL West or bust. I forget. We looked at it yesterday, but who can remember? Maybe me, because I, post the thing or whatever. Could do that. Here's your starting pitcher for the Cubs. It's Doug Davis, who's 1-13, 5.45 on the ERA, 14 games and 38 innings pitched. 53 hits. Every one of his games has been a decision for him. That's kind of wild. 53, 9, and 21. This was why I picked this game, because I was curious if the Padres could take advantage of this porous starter. Knowing me, he's about to throw 3 perfect innings. Or we'll go to the 15th. I don't know. That'll be rolled over foul. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Lefty readies and fires, and McCutchen will lift this out toward the gap. Left fielder comes over, makes the catch, and that is out number 1. That is low for a ball, 1-0 to Escobar. The Cubs were in it for a little bit with kind of that jumbled NL Central, as the wind in the pitch is hit foul, just foul at the third baseline. Oh no, another third baseman injury. We had this yesterday in the Diamondbacks game. He went for a dive on a ball in like one of the first 3 pitches or something like that, and they had to go to the bench. Eric Hinsky is now going to be playing third base after the injury. We've seen more injuries lately, like this last 3.5 weeks. We've seen a lot more than we did in the early season. That is a curveball that is driven straight to the first baseman. Goes up the third baseline, foul, pulls it to the opposite side, right to an out. Of course, as soon as I insult this man with his 1-14 record, or whatever it is, 1-13. 2 pretty quick outs. David Wright's batting .309. But yeah, the Cubs were in the NL Central race there with Houston and Pittsburgh, and that's going to be into right field for a single. Or were they? Houston, Pittsburgh. Milwaukee was never really in it. Then they kind of got into it. The NL West had felt like it was pretty well decided with the Rockies. They got up to such a hot start. But they've left the door open for not only the Diamondbacks, but the Padres as well, as that has swung on and missed. Unfortunately, we just don't get enough division matchups late in this shortened season for that to be like a little extra sauce on it. That's upstairs for a ball. We do need kind of a custom schedule. I didn't think about that, but because when I'm setting all this stuff up, it's like, can it do X, Y, and Z? I don't even think about the matchup situation. I guess I'm a little spoiled by the NFL when they went to the, hey, we're going to make sure that it's a division matchup at the end of the season every year, so there's a little something for you to play for. 2-1. Runner on first, and that is smacked out to left field. Ballpark will hold it. And that will be out number 3. Padres get a hit, but can't do anything with it. Get you introduced to the Cubs lineup right now. Michael Bourne is the center fielder. He'll be leading things off for the Chicago Cubs, followed by Martin Prado. Troy Tulowitzki, Prado's in left. Troy Tulowitzki is the shortstop. J.D. Drew, the right fielder, starts a long line of lefties. It's followed by Josh Tolle. The catcher, Derek Barton at first. Travis Ishikawa, the DH. Eric Hinsky is the third baseman. And then Richie Weeks is the righty. Batting ninth, playing second base. Carlos Zambrano, 8-5 of the 3.92 ERA, 14 games, 39 innings pitched, 39, 22, 25 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Oh, I thought the game did not have his name. Michael Bourne. So Zambrano, the righty, will face a lefty to lead things off here, and he will fire a ball outside. 1-0. I think ideally you would like to see San Diego challenge for the NL West. I don't know, the Rockies feel like the most solid team of the 3 that are kind of competing for the crown, but with how inconsistent they've been over the back half of the season since that All-Star break, I don't know. I guess that's the beauty of the random rosters, is it feels like there is more parity. No one feels like they are the out-and-out best team. Like, the Phillies have been good, the Yankees have been good. But even like the Mariners have been in first place in the AL West for a lot of the season, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they feel like a great team. The Rockies, you would say that about in the first half, but lately they haven't been doing super well. And you get weird teams like the Diamondbacks. The Blue Jays are also pretty odd. And Toronto might be the weirdest team that we see. I would not be surprised. I guess if I had to make a pick now, with a couple weeks left in the season, I think it'd be Phillies, Yankees. They've been the 2 most consistent teams. But we'll see. Be streaming 5 nights a week until the season is done. One gone here for the Cubs in the bottom of the first. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is upstairs for a ball. Zambrano readies and fires. That is lifted into right field. That'll get down, drifting toward the wall, and it'll bounce toward the corner. Runner hits first hard and heads for second. It's a stand-up double for the Chicago Cubs. Nice job getting a little air under it, slicing it into right field. First baseman looks like a kid who's like, I got it, and it's like 18 feet above their head. No chance. But hey, they made the effort. Troy Tulowitzki, I like that RBI number at 26. Has a runner in scoring position with one gone. Zambrano winds and fires. It is low for a ball. Tulowitzki takes a strike to make the count 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 with the runner on second. It's going to be a broken bat flare into foul territory. Nobody able to get to it. So Tulowitzki will get a fresh piece of wood. And we'll do it again. 1-2. Righty winds and fires. That one stays outside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball. Tulowitzki swings and misses, and that'll set him down on strikes out number 2. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Please, no. Please, God, no. Not another one of these games. It was a payoff pitch. And it'll be J.D. Drew. This, I believe, will start that long line of lefties that this righty will have to deal with for the Cubs. 4 through 8 hitter. Sounds about right. And Drew's going to do us a favor. We're going to see a run in the first inning. Oh, my goodness. Thank you to the Cubs. I don't know why they threw that to first base. Who cares? Look at that. Wow. I shouldn't be so excited, but what I just saw versus what we just saw where Tulowitzki struck out, and then the game that we just watched, where it was a suck fest for 5 innings. Well, 2-out damage for the Cubs as that pitch misses inside for a ball. So 2 outs, 1 on. That's in for a strike. Here comes the 1-1. Runner on first, and that's outside for a ball. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. It is fouled away. The righty misses low. Three and 2. Full count here yet again for this Padres pitcher. We got the strikeout previously. They put the runner in motion with a full count and 2 outs. Pitch misses inside. Nice take. Well off the plate, and the Cubs working with somebody in scoring position. Is his head okay? Kind of like, you all right? It just bent so weird. Derek Barton steps up. Oh, almost a big swing, but drives that one foul. And Barton will drive that into right field. The right fielder makes a horrible dive. The runners don't know that he missed the ball. They're only going to score one. They should have scored two. Oh my goodness. It doesn't even matter if he came up with the ball. I guess if he was able to keep it in front of him, it might have caused some problems. So I guess you could understand that, but a little more two-out damage. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is in the dirt. Can the Cubs do a little more damage? Here's the wind and the pitch. Couple of runners in scoring position. 2 runs of two-out damage so far. The wind and the pitch, and it is right back up the middle. That's going to score 2 more. 4-0 Chicago here in the bottom of the first. I kind of called it a little bit soon. Eric Hinsky. That is upstairs for a ball. 1-0. Swung on and missed. Chicago out to a big lead here in this one. Now they have that pitcher who doesn't have a great ERA and a pretty horrible record, but 4-0, I think you'd want to try your best to feel comfortable with. Try and play loose and not worry about any of that. Zambrano just can't get through these lefties. We identified it in the pregame, in the intro, leading up to it, going, hey, there's a big stretch of lefties here. That one's fouled away. Cubs doing a little bit of what Kansas City did to Oakland yesterday with just a ton of two-out damage. Here's the 1-2, the wind and the fire. It's outside, 2-2. That is right to the shortstop. He'll get it cleanly. Fires to first in time, and the inning is finally over for this Padres defense. 4 runs on 4 hits. Saltalamacchia, Loney, and Abreu coming up for the Padres. Looking to get back into this one. 4-0 Cubs. Saltalamacchia is batting just under 300 at 294. That is, going to get that high outside corner for a strike, 0-1. It's not imperative that San Diego puts runs on the board right here. You would like to. It's going to start to become that ratio that if that's a hit right back up the middle, that'll be a leadoff single. If San Diego can't score any runs here, it becomes imperative that the pitching staff buckles down and doesn't give up any more runs. Every run they score, it becomes a little less worrisome, but see what Loney can do here. It is just a single, so the Cubs in position for the double play. It's a lefty-lefty matchup here. The lefty winds and fires, and Loney fouls that one off of home plate. Rolls back to the backstop, 0-1. Crowd says, let's turn 2. That is swung on and missed. Noted, crowd member. I'm not playing. They will try to turn 2. 0-2. The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball. Runner on first with nobody out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is outside for a ball. 2-2. Lefty maybe getting a little too cute here, trying to get that outside low. He has a good eye to help him even this count back up at 2 apiece. Lefty shakes his head. Lines and fires. They're looking for the inside. Gets the swing and the miss, and that will be out. Number 1 for San Diego. Bobby Abreu batting .247. 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. Does have a stolen base. It's a back-to-back lefty lane here for San Diego. You saw how much trouble the Padres pitcher had against all those lefties for the Cubs. But he was a righty. Here's the wind and the pitch. And that is lifted out toward Steve Bartman. It is just a harmless foul ball. And fouled away. One and 2. That's rolled over. The first baseman just ran away from the ball. I don't know that he was going to be able to get to it, but he went over to cover first like the second baseman had it. He did not. It was a weird play to watch. So a runner in scoring position with just 1 gone. And that gets the call at the knees, 0-1. That big swing and a miss. That looked late as hell. Man. 0-2. That's low for a ball. One and 2. 2 on, 1 out. That's outside. Two and 2. 2 on, 1 gone. 4-0 here. Cubs lead in the second. The second strikeout that he's been able to pick up in this inning. Both outs via the strikeout for, is it Doug Davis, who has maybe some not great looking facial hair. We're not going to judge. More importantly, though, he is 1 in 14 or whatever. 1 in 13, something like that, in 14 decisions. He's in a good position here. Needs to wiggle off the hook just a little bit. That one stays upstairs to the righty. You want to try and shut the door on the Padres right here, right now. Oof, doesn't get the call on the inside. Maybe someone by complaining about the previous umpire in that White Sox game is a little validated, considering some of the garbage calls he gave. that then forced hitters to swing at worse pitches and dragged that game on for an hour. What just happened? That went through him. That was out number 3. What? Andrew McCutcheon's next. This game, this controller, everything about this. Let's follow the ball. I didn't go through him, but he was, I don't know, right there. Sounded like the train went by in Chicago. So Andrew McCutcheon represents the tying run. The wind and the pitch, and it is rolled to the shortstop. He fields cleanly. Fires to first in time. So it does just cost them 1 run and 1 extra pitch. Not that biggest deal, but sometimes this game can be just so unpredictable. We will head to the bottom half of the second. It's 4-1 Chicago. Ricky Weeks stepping up. How'd you end up so far behind YouTube playback? Just everything. Huh? Everything being annoying? Well, that's a strike. Okay. I don't know if I agree with it, but that's what the umpire called. 1-1. Ready winds and fires. That's fouled away. Good ball's fouled. 1-2. 4-1 here in the bottom of the second. Nobody out, and that is swung on and missed. Pretty important here for this Padres defense and pitching staff to come up with a scoreless inning for the Cubs. Give themselves as much of a chance as they can muster going into the top of the third. That Cubs defense had 2 brutal animations. The first baseman just ran away from it at the top of the second, and then the second baseman ran away from it as well. That helped make that inning look a little more plausible that San Diego might be able to stage a comeback, but I guess kind of thankfully for us they weren't able to. 2 quick outs here for the Cubs in the bottom of the second. Padres defense doing what it needs to do. Martin Parado. He'll step up with 2 gone. The wind and the pitch, and that is in for a strike. Here comes the 0-1. It is lifted into foul territory just off the end of the bat. First baseman comes over, makes the catch, and right into the dugout, except for it doesn't exist in this game. It's 4-1 as we head to the top half of the third. Last chance for the Padres in this one. Alcides Escobar. Alcides. I thought I said that a little wrong. Four to 1. As we get set for the top of the third, here's the wind of the pitch from the lefty. It is pummeled, but foul. 0-1. That one stays upstairs for a ball. Lefty readies and fires. That one misses the catcher's glove entirely. Bounces back to the backstop. Nobody on, so it's not the most damaging pitch. Just a really ugly ball. 2-1. That's outside. 3-1. Here's the wind and the pitch from the lefty. It is driven to the first baseman. He makes the play this time around. Steps on the bag, and that is out number 1. David Wright, 1 for 1 with a single. He's averaging .315 this season. See what he can do here in the top of the third. Facing the lefty with 1 out, down 3. Davis winds and fires, and that's a big curve that misses just below the knees. 1-0. The 1-0 is ready and fired in. Gets the strike on the inside edge. Umpire getting a little bit of inspiration from the umpire who did the White Sox-Red Sox game we just watched. Call them all strikes, no matter how far off the plate they are. It's outside for a ball. Two and 1. The wind and the pitch. And that's a strike. I don't know. That's 2 of them now. That looks like what could be very easily a 4-0 walk. Maybe 3-1. Maybe I'll give you 3-1. But, boy, this has not been a kind at-bat to the Padres. That one somehow is a ball. I don't understand. Okay. All right. Count is full. So payoff pitch coming from the lefty. One of the weirder at-bats we've had. Probably the weirdest at-bat we've had today. I can't remember every single individual at-bat as that's foul, the way to stay alive. This would feel like it would be up there for one of the more strange at-bats of all season. The lefty readies, winds, and fires. That is foul up the third base line. Three and 2. The wind and the pitch. And that is past a diving second baseman. So a long, strange at-bat results in a single for the Padres. Justin Upton's 0 for 1. 317 average, 8 home runs. Lefty winds and fires. They're going to go for the steal down to second. Wait, the throw is in time. Weirdly aggressive for the Padres there. I don't think you really want out number 2 after getting a hit on a steal attempt. You still have to get another guy on. I understand a hit and run opportunity, or a hit and run situation. That gets the outside first strike, 1-1. So just like that, Padres down to their final out. Lefty winds, he'll fire that inside, driven out towards center field. Should be it, and it is. We get kind of the game we needed, honestly, after the hour-long monstrosity. We get the home team winning, not on a walk-off day. We don't even have to see the bottom of the third, don't even have to worry about it. Cubs got out to a 4-0 lead. They gave one back on some funky defensive stuff, but the 4 runs are enough for the Cubs today. Padres have to be really disappointed with themselves. They have an opportunity in the NL West, and they played a pitcher in Doug Davis who has not looked good all season long. You can see his ERA is 5.27. He has given up 58 hits. He pitched 3 innings to 5 hits and 2 strikeouts and still picks up the win. Only his second in 15 decisions. Carlos Zambrano falls to 8-6 after the loss. So really felt like the door was open for the Padres in that one to pick up a victory with Doug Davis having such a bad record, such a high ERA. But he pitched well today, and the Padres fall 4-1. We'll go to view other games, or view the day's games. We will catch up on a couple of scores. Yankees, they improved to 41-30 with a 4-2 win over the Twins. The Rangers beat the Rays in a battle of not great teams. We saw the Cubs Padres. And we will head down to our wheel spin game of the day, the Angels and the Orioles, for game number 4. If you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to give the video a like. Subscribe if you'd like more. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm going to swap the thumbnail so it's accurate. And we will get underway with our 4th and final game of the evening. Welcome to Los Angeles. The Angels hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Both teams pretty much out of the playoff race. The Orioles kind of made a run at it, but they have fallen out of it. The Angels they haven't looked good for a while. Angels are 32-38. The Orioles are 34-37. Baltimore looks like this. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, he is the designated hitter. He'll be leading things off, followed by Corey Hart in right field. Evan Longoria at third. Rick Ankiel in left. Derek Lee at first. Miguel Montero is the catcher. As Drupal Cabrera, the shortstop. Luis Castillo is the second baseman. Pardon me. Lucas Duda is the center fielder. He rounds out this Baltimore Orioles lineup. Starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels is Cliff Lee. The lefty is 9-4 with a 4.73 ERA. 14 games, so he's pitched 40 innings. 45 hits, 12 walks, 35 strikeouts on the year. Here's your defensive lineup for, or positioning for the Los Angeles Angels. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. He was pretty consistently toward the tops of the batting categories. We saw him a lot. He'll lead things off lefty v lefty here. As he swings and misses on the first pitch, we are underway. Game number 4 of the evening. Lee winds and fires. That is low for a ball. And it's driven foul up the third base line. Makes it 1-2. And he's going to go back to that third base side. That time it's picked up by the third baseman in fair territory. The throw, it's tight up the line, but it is an out. Half a step, maybe? Nice job by the Angels defense to get the leadoff batter. It'll bring up Corey Hart. 317 average. That is lifted into center field. Second baseman never really had a shot at it, so I'm not sure why he dove for it, but maybe he thought it'd make it look like him. Maybe he thought it'd make him look like he's putting in effort. Evan Longoria's batting .353 this season. Turn the deuce. Turn the deuce. One on and one out. They're going to put the runner in motion immediately. He will be safe at second with a stolen base. Orioles being aggressive on the base paths. Longoria took all the way. I think he would have beaten it even without this game's very funky animation problems. Wind and the pitch. Gets the strike at the corner. And it is 1-1. That first pitch on the steal was a ball low. Or just a ball. I think it was low, but because of the way the camera switches, it's hard to tell. Longoria, very patient at bat. Lee goes back to that low inside corner, finds another strike, and it's 1-2. And they are going to call a strike there at the knees. I don't know about this. Well, hopefully we get... Alright, it's a called strike 3. I didn't know about it, but it is what it is. Rick Ankiel batting .225. 5 home runs, 21 RBI. It's a lefty-lefty matchup, and he gets the call at the knees. 0-1. That is inside for a ball, 1-1. The wind and the pitch. Ooh, gets the swing and miss. Swung over the top of it. That was an aggressive swing there for the Orioles. Makes it 1-2 with 2 outs. A runner on second. And he'll put this one into left field. How aggressive are they running the bases? They will send him home. The throw is going to be late, and it is 1-0 Baltimore. The lefty beats the lefty, driving that into left field. And the steal comes up big. Nice job with the RBI single. Well, Derek Lee coming up next. Batting in the 230s this season. Let's have double-digit RBIs. And it's going to be right to the third baseman. Runner slides into second for fun. Baltimore picks up 2 hits, 1 run. And we will head to the home half of the first. 1-0 Baltimore. These Los Angeles Angels will be led off by Cameron Maben, the center fielder. Casey McGee, the third baseman, is next. Adrian Gonzalez is at first. Cameron Maben's in center field. Casey McGee is at third. Adrian Gonzalez at first. Jim Tomei is the DH. Ryan Ludwig in left. John Buck behind the dish. Ben Zobrist in right. Felipe Lopez at short. And Ryan Roberts, the second baseman. Starting pitcher for Baltimore, Bronson Arroyo. 5-6 with a 6.19 ERA. 13 games, 32 innings pitched. 41-13-24. Hits, walks, and strikeouts. I didn't think I was going to get there. I really stumbled on the word Orioles. I'm not used to saying Orioles in a normal tone of voice. Usually it's me screaming at them because of their team. Oh, God. I was thinking about it today. I was like, oh man, we have 7 games against Baltimore. Actually, I was thinking about what the worst record against a team would be. Because we play all the, You'd have all the AL West teams would be like the 1, 2, 3, 4 of the most games played. Then you'd have the American League playoff teams. Then the rest of the American League that you get 2 series against. So, like, who's a team that hasn't made the playoffs? God, who's a good team who hasn't made the playoffs? We haven't faced in the playoffs. If you're doing it for like 5 years, that's and a strike on the outside. So, Toronto. Because like we've played the White Sox in the playoffs. Anyway, I was trying to think about who the teams I played the most are. Because like in the National League, you'd get the World Series teams, which has been the Dodgers, the Reds, the Braves. I think the Dodgers 2 more times, as that is lifted out to center field, and the catch is made. And then you'd have the teams that you play every year since 2024. Then you would have the teams that you only saw or didn't see before the change got made or whatever. With the balanced scheduling, the Padres would be up there because we always play the Padres 4 times a year. Even before the schedule balancing took place. That's inside football. Pardon me. We're losing steam here. It's getting late on the West Coast. Actually, it's not that bad. I thought it was later than it was. The wind and the pitch. Outside in low for a ball. The 2-1, wind and fired inside. Three and one. And he works a walk. Nice job there to make sure he didn't swing at the 3-1 pitch. It was low and out of the zone for ball 4. Adrian Gonzalez steps up. And they put a runner on first with 1 out here. In the bottom of the first. Gonzalez. Oh, he just missed it. They'll send the runner all the way around to put runners on the corners with 1 out to throw a little offline. I thought he might have a shot to turn that double play, but cannot pick up the ball and get it there. Jim Thome with an opportunity to tie the game or take the lead, depending on how deep he can hit this ball. Baltimore can still get out of this. Oh boy, I thought Foul ball. The Orioles still have an opportunity to get out of this with a double play. Thome with a big swing and a miss there. Makes it 0-2. And Thome takes the ball low, 1-2. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Swung on and missed, so Thome set down on strikes. That's a nice looking pitch. Very late on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the corner. Runners on the corners with 2 outs now. That'll be, oh my goodness, the third baseman dove so early for no reason. What is wrong with people diving today? They've all been so bad at it. There was no reason for him to dive like that. He had to move like a step. Well, Los Angeles able to tie the game with 2 outs. They still have a runner in scoring position, so they can take a lead here in the first. The crowd howls as that is fouled away. They'll settle down for just a moment before rising back up. They didn't. There it goes. That'll be rolled past the diving third baseman again. Gonzalez hits third and he's going to head for home. The throw is in late, safe. 2-1 Angels. They are picking on this third baseman. He is tried twice to dive for the ball and has come up with neither of them. More 2-out damage for the Angels, who now take a 2-1 lead. Two on, 2 out. That is past the diving third baseman again. They'll hit third base and head for home, and it is safe at the plate, 3-1. Hey, Orioles, maybe have your third baseman play a half step closer to the line. He probably won't come up with it anyway, but they've just hit it right up that side for 3 runs now. Wow. 3 runs of 2-out damage here in the home half of the first, swinging a 1-0 deficit into a 3-1 lead. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is in for a strike. I think you might want that pitch back. Looked pretty good. Oh and 1. Still a runner in scoring position for the Angels. A big swing and a miss there. Oh and 2. The wind and the pitch, and that is lifted to the second baseman who makes the catch. 4-out number 3. But the Angels come up with 3 runs of 2-out damage. Montero, Cabrera, and Castillo, are coming up for the Orioles at the top half of the second. How'd you end up behind again, YouTube? Miguel Montero, he's going to lead things off in the top of inning number 2 against the lefty Cliff Lee, who fires a strike. Gets that call on the edge. 0-1. That is swung on and missed. Big strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter. Lefty winds and fires. That one is lifted into right field, and the right fielder dives and misses. No one can dive correctly. It's a mess. Oh my goodness, it's a leadoff double, a 2-strike hit. Lefty versus lefty. There's your bloop. Can Asdrubal Cabrera come up with the blast to tie this game back up? Tied at 3. He's batting, what, 296? I think was the number that we saw there. I believe that is correct. Here's the wind of the pitch from Lee, the lefty. It's inside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0. Swung on and missed. Here comes a 1-1 swing and a miss. That was in the dirt. Whew, he got aggressive on that one. 1-2. Runner on second with nobody gone. 3-1 Los Angeles. And that is pushed up the third baseline foul. Here comes the 1-2. It is low for a ball. Two and two. Runner on second. And fouled away. Lee going there, trying to get that big aggressive swing yet again. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that is going to be rolled. What is wrong with this video game? He dove so badly again. They missed 3. The Orioles missed 3, and the Angels have missed 2 in this inning alone. Okay. Luis Castillo has a 5-game hitting streak, batting .304. It's like this game is built to just drive me nuts. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. Oh, blow. You'll kill it. Pitch is in for a strike. 1-1. Fouled away. One and two. Oh, and that's going to be lifted into center field. Somehow they did. He bobbled it in center. Oh, this video game. Oh, this video game. Lucas Duda. He comes to the plate. Runners on the corners. Nobody gone. Orioles looking to tie. Maybe take the lead. I think if you're the Angels, maybe you try to take two outs for 1 run. Remember, this game is 15 years old this year. It's still broken as hell. This game is unacceptable even for 2011 standards. I guarantee you the PS3 version is not that bad. I did this to myself. That is sliced foul. The jank is fun until it drives you into crazy town. The wind and the pitch is fouled away. That is bobbled. The Angels can't do anything easily today. Even the 1 out they have still requires that bobble animation. 3-3. You know what? At least we have some scoring in this one. We didn't have that 0-0 monstrosity that we saw between the White Sox and the Red Sox earlier. This game instead is a 3-3 mess. Swung on and missed. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That is hit foul up the first base side. Over to the weather tarp. And foul again, going right back to that weather tarp. Big fan of that weather tarp. There is a runner on second with one out. That one stays high. So a nice take there. I believe that's John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt at the plate. Oh, and he's going to hit it right back up the middle. He'll hit third and turn for home. The center fielder throws it in, and the cutoff holds the ball. So the Orioles, they score 3 in this inning, and they retake the lead 4-3. Corey Hart's 1 for 1 with a single. He has a stolen base as well. He'll need to get the runner over to third if he'd like to pick up steal number 2. And there is a steal. He is safe. Would have been a very, very weird out. So they'll immediately put a runner in scoring position as he takes that extra step. 1-0. That pitches in for a strike to make it 1-1. Baltimore looking for a little insurance. They're going to need their defense to figure something out, especially at third base, where he dove and missed 3 balls in a row to his side. That is lifted in to the gap in left center. That'll roll all the way to the wall. It'll be a run-scoring double. 5-3 Baltimore, who have now scored 4 runs in this inning. 1 in the top of the first for the Orioles, 3 in the bottom of the first for the Angels, 4 in the top of the second for Baltimore. So this game has given us some offense, which we can appreciate. How it's given us that offense, a little weird. Like, you know, the game showing signs that it is 15 years old. It's a good reminder. The wind and the pitch, foul up the third base side. Just missed. Oh and 1. That'll be punched right back up the middle. How aggressive are they? They're going to send him home. Center fielder seemed to come up a little slow with that ball. Maybe could have gotten it in, but Longoria with an RBI single. Rick Ian Keel 1 for 1 with a single and an RBI. Baltimore leads 6-3 now. And Keel does a nice job to take that pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. That is lifted left field. It is going, a 2-run home run. It's 8-3 Baltimore. Oh my goodness. Rick and Keel. They gave us the jump animation, like the home run robbery animation. He didn't come up with it, but 370 majestic feet, just over the 365 marker. As a left fielder can't come up with it. I don't think he really had much of a shot. Derek Lee, though, he's 0 for 1. There is still just 1 out, but the bases are clear. 7-run inning here for the Orioles. They now lead by 5. And the Orioles have done a good job taking first pitches here from Cliff Lee. He hasn't been getting ahead 0-1. He's fallen behind 1-0. So it's almost like you can throw away that first pitch and then just kind of go for it. Nice job taking that on the outside. 2-1. Or 2-0, excuse me, with 1 out. That's where I got the 1 from. Lee winds and fires. It's at the knees for a strike. Now it's 2-1. And that's lifted over to the left field. Left fielder finally able to put out number 2 on the board. They will head to the bullpen for a lefty. They were already working with a lefty. Mark Hendrickson has 18 games pitched, a 1-4 record, 3 saves, a 3.33 ERA. 24.1 innings with 18 strikeouts and 7 walks. Two outs. 4. Ooh, Hendrickson can't get the call on the outside. It's felt generous for a lot of the day. 1 and 0. Here comes the wind and the pitch. It's upstairs for a ball. Two and 0. That's low for a ball. That is... What in the world? I don't know. I don't get it. I guess that one was maybe a little bit high. Kind of taking a second peek at it, but the Orioles don't need help. They've already scored 7 runs in this inning. Angels brought in the pitcher to help stop the bleeding, but the umpire's not giving them any help. That's foul. That's good news for the Angels, as that's just foul. Outside the first base. 0-1. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is blocked nicely by the catcher. Runner has to slide back into first. And is swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Baltimore with 8 runs. And that is lifted out towards left field. That is going to get into the corner. Angels are actually going to get... That is going to be a break for Los Angeles. That super low wall out in left field, because it hits over and it's on an automatic double. It saves the Angels a run. So it'll be Luis Castillo now. The wind and the pitch, and that is, oh boy, I thought that was going to be more damage. It's a foul ball. I don't think it had the distance, but you get tricked sometimes with the sound of the ball off the bat. The lefty winds and fires. That's outside for a ball. The Lefty steps and fires. It's fouled away. Fouled away. One and two. Wind in the pitch. He is outside for a ball. 2-2. There have been some lengthy innings we've had over the last couple of days. Long at bats and a lot of runs scored as they finally get out of it. Swung on a miss and a pitch well outside. 8 runs on 10 hits. They pick up 7 at the top of the second. Roberts, Maben, and McGee looking to respond. What are we on? 23? June 23rd. Strike one. If I'm the Orioles pitcher, I am very aggressive here, just trying to pick up strikes as quickly as possible. If you give up some contact, it's not that big of a deal, but just try to get through this lineup as quickly as possible. That's upstairs for a ball. And that's outside. Here's the wind and the pitch. And they'll give it. Who is the third baseman on the Orioles? He has missed 4 plays. He just stood there that time. If the Angels want to come back in this game, they will make sure that every hitter is right-handed, and they will just drive it right at the third baseman. He does not know how to play the game. He dove at 3 of them and couldn't come up with 1. He just stood there. Boy, oh boy. I guess maybe it's not okay if you give up contact. I wanted to be like, hey, the infield could try to pick you up. The defense could pick you up. Nope, not in this one. We're going to be here for a while. This is going to be a wild one. But at least they're scoring runs. Here's the wind and the pitch. Second baseman comes up with an underhand toss to second for 1. Over to first in time for 2. The double play. That has got to feel soul-crushing for the Angels. God, they even did that stupid underhand throw, too. Was he out? Hold on. God, this... Oh, the camera. The controller. Everything about this is annoying. It's not 100% the game's fault. Stop. Control stick. Why? Oh, because we're in Los Angeles, I guess. I hate this. It's the same problem. Oh, he was out by a long stride. Never mind. Well, sorry to waste your time on that one. I thought it was closer. It's this, the game has the same problem now. You can't go any further than like the dugout. It has like an invisible. Actually, I think it's the warning track. You can't pull back any further than that, so it just makes the replay completely useless at times. 1-0 with 2 outs. Two 2-0, 2 gone. 8-3 Baltimore lead here in Los Angeles. Game 4 of the day, as that pitch misses low. Two quirks of the schedule this year is Seattle, pair of Friday to Monday 4-game sets. Oh. That's in for a strike. Which series are those? 3-1. 2 outs. That is lifted into that little center field gap there. He's going to hit first strong and go for second. The throw in is... Oh, that was a nice dive. Not a bad throw in. If he was out at second trying to advance on like a single or whatever, that would have felt very this game. That is rolled. Third baseman finally makes a play. He's 1 for 5. It's out number 3. And we are headed to the top of the third. 8-3 Baltimore. Second home stands with the Houston in mid-August with Texas. Oh, that is weird. It's usually Thursday to Sunday. Okay, I got it. I see the quirk now. This game may have broken my brain just a little bit because the scheduling's all weird, but yeah, because Seattle starts with a 4-game set against Cleveland. It's a Thursday to Monday. Foul up the first base line. Rattles into the stands off the weather tarp and everything. 0-1. Hendrickson's got to be able to figure something out here. That works? Maybe. Okay, it works. He kept going back, and I was like, oh, shoot, that actually may have caught a little bit of a wind tunnel. Oh, shoot, can you buy... I was going to look at this earlier, but I forgot. The spring training hats are available. Let's go... Oh, yeah, they're here. Baby. Sorry, late July. Misread the schedule. April 10th to the 13th and July 24th to the 27th in Texas. Oh, in Texas. Interesting. That is low for a ball. Can I filter this? Teams, Seattle. That is swung on and missed. That is outside. Nice block by the catcher. Lifted into left field. They're putting the left fielder to work here. He's running at the fence trying to make the catches. He's making the catches. He's chasing them down. They are going for him. Actually, maybe not the spring training hat, because it's $56. Damn. Runner on first with 1 out. Gets a strike call, 0-1. I was thinking if I ordered it today, maybe it'd be, or tomorrow, maybe it'd be here by Friday, but I doubt that. Runner in motion. Down to second easily. Safe. Is that John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt yet again? He has 2 stolen bases, I believe, in this game. Does a good job to stay out of the double play. It's an 0-2 count. 1 gone. Runner on second, and that is strike number 3. So Hart set down on strikes. That'll bring up Evan Longoria, who's 1 for 2, a single, a run. And he's knocked in a run. The wind and the pitch is low for a ball. Lefty steps and fires. That is outside, ball 2. Two and 0. Runner on second with 2 outs here at the top of the 3rd. Baltimore leads 8-3. Gets the strike call at the knees. Two and 1. Winds and the pitch. That's in for a strike to make it 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. A runner on second. Lefty is ready. Steps and fires. That's way low. It's not even competitive. Come on. That is drilled foul. Three and 2, and that is foul. Oh man, that was close. Would have rattled around in the corner and produced another run. Now the Baltimore needs another payoff pitch upcoming. Here's the lefty to the plate, and that's fouled away. So we'll do it again. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is fouled away yet again. So Longoria really putting up an at-bat here. I wonder who owns the week of September. Both Seattle teams are scheduled for home games that week that week in midweek. Oh. Huh. Wind and the pitch. That is a strike 3 on the outside. Longoria set down on strikes after a valiant battle. Baltimore picks up a hit, but doesn't do anything with it. It'll be up to Tomei, Ludwig, and Buck. Could be an interesting thing with Seattle celebrating like Super Bowl champion and hopefully in the playoff race. Like, could be an exciting September. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is. I'd imagine you would give the way to the football team. September 9th or 10th. Wind and the pitch in for a strike. That would be a pretty crazy day. I mean, at least that Thursday game for the Mariners is at 1:10. I don't know why the result would be the 9th or the 10th. It's very weird. We're misled, but the Seahawks would open the title defense on the 10th, and the Mariners host Texas at 1:10. Yeah, you would be correct. They'll be hosted by Seattle. I'm curious who they have the Seahawks play that week 1. I think you'll get a divisional matchup. I think you'll get the Rams or the 49ers, but which game is more interesting? Rams and Seahawks was a treat every single time this year. But the 49ers and some of the post-game comments, and they've done this like multiple times. Do you remember when San Francisco lost to the Philadelphia Eagles and Brock Purdy went down with an injury? They came out with the same answer of like, if we were healthy, if our quarterback was still in, we would have blown him out. I was like, well, no, you wouldn't have. So do you want full strength 49ers versus full strength Seahawks, theoretically? Or do you want Rams Seahawks that felt like it was fairly full health throughout the whole season last year? How much does the NFL care about the storylines and the post-game comments? I think I'd lean 49ers. Come in with your best, healthiest, ready to roll team and see what happens. Ludwig's down on strikes. But Seahawks-Rams was so good. It was so... As the NFL is trying to host a game in Sydney that week. And are wanting to be on the other Wednesday or Thursday that week. Something like a Rams, 49ers, so we could get that. Get the Cards? Gross. No. Ugh. Gross. That's a bad matchup. Unless you want to watch a 40-8 drubbing or whatever. Like, that's awful. Also, NFL. You don't have to be everywhere. Like, you can be in America. That's fine. We don't have to have all these weird, important games happening at 2:30 a.m. Like, stop it. No one cares about our weird, stupid sport with its dumb rules that don't make sense. 0-2. I don't believe people in Europe care about football. They keep trying to tell me that, and I'm just like, you're paid. Someone gave you that jersey for free. I don't believe you. 1-2. Wind in the pitch. That is hit deep to left field. Is it going to stay in the ballpark? It won't. 2-run home run. 8-5 now. Uh-oh. Are we getting some Baltimore BS here in... What's it called? Los Angeles. That's the team. I could not think of where we were. They got all of that one. That was why I called the other one kind of weirdly, because it hit out to left field, and I thought it caught another kind of like that, like it just kept going. Aaron Heilman. Heilman? He has 22 games on record with a 3-0 record in those decisions. 3 saves, a 1.71 ERA, 26.1 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts to 7 walks. And he'll be facing Ben Zobrist, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a ribby. Put Sydney on Friday, U.S. time, and leave the Thursday game for Seattle home opener. Yeah, that's what they did with Brazil when the Packers and the Eagles played down there. I know Brazil's on the same... I know it's on our continent or whatever, but 1-0. So 1 gone. It's a 3-run game. That is hit well, but foul.
That's a foul ball.
Foul ball. One and one. That is foul. Foul ball. Don't make a team play on a Wednesday. That's dumb. Then the MLB would probably have to switch that Texas game to earlier in the day. If the NFL decides that they want. And you can't give them the Cardinals. That's bad. But the Seattle didn't play anybody like... The most exciting games that the Seahawks played were the Rams and the 49ers. That's foul up the third baseline. Let's look it up. Let's see if we can find Seattle Oops. Seattle Seahawks, their schedule. Swung on and missed. We'll get out of the preseason, where they tied with the Raiders. Ooh. The Buccaneers were good. That Buccaneers game was a lot of fun. I think that would be it. It'd be Rams, 49ers, Buccaneers. And I don't really believe that the Buccaneers will necessarily be that good. You can't bobble it in a 3-run game. He's still out. Okay. A weird one here in Los Angeles to wrap things up. We had 2 longer games today again. One of them a 0-0 monstrosity. Seattle, New England on opening night? The team that they just throttled in the Super Bowl? No thank you. I don't want to watch the Patriots again. The Patriots thrived for years on just being the team that didn't make mistakes. They're not a fun team to watch. Ricky and Keel, 2 for 2 with a home run and 3 RBI. Baltimore scored 7 in the second, and that was enough. LA put on 2 to make it a little bit closer. Bronson Arroyo picks up the win to improve to 6-6. Cliff Lee falls to 9-5, and Keel's 6th home run of the season. Bucks 2nd. Dallas, KC, or Chicago are the only decent home opponents for this year. I don't want to watch Dallas. Dallas is disgusting. I don't believe in Kansas City. Chicago could be good. Chicago could be fun. I don't... All right. Oof. Seattle loses 6-0. Gross. All right. Let's get caught up on some scores here. We left there. Brewers over the Nationals 1-0. Cardinals over the Reds 1-0. Diamondbacks over the Dodgers 2-0. We had that 8-5 Orioles Angels win. Athletics over the Royals 3-0. Giants beat the Mets 1-0. And the Guardians over the Mariners 6-0. So kind of a bad day for the Mariners. They lose, and the Athletics win. Let's take a quick peek at the standings. We're winding down. It's a 2-game difference between the Mariners and the Athletics. In the West, in the Central, the White Sox are back behind the Royals by 3. Cleveland still lurking around. And then the Yankees have things in control in the East. Wildcard has the Athletics on top of the White Sox by a game. Guardians by 2. Red Sox by 2.5. So the Red Sox can pull to 2 back, I guess? Or a game and a half back with a win over the White Sox tomorrow. Orioles still kind of lurking around, but I don't know that I believe in them. In the National League, Phillies, they're in a great spot in the East. Especially considering that the Braves have lost 5 in a row. LA Chargers. In the Central, Pirates, they're way out in front. Diamondbacks are now a half game ahead of the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies have lost 3 straight. They played the Phillies, and I believe they got swept in that series, unless it's a 4-gamer that wraps up tomorrow. But the Diamondbacks have a half-game lead now in the National League West. Braves lead by a half game in the National League wild card, so you could see 2 NL West teams, which felt kind of impossible. Padres are 3 games back. Mets 2.5. Astros 2. The Rockies, the Marlins, and the Braves. Right now, the 3 teams fighting for that wild card spot under a game back of each other. Well, that will do it for tonight's stream. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed. A couple of longer games and some discussion about the opening night game, I should say, for the defending champion Seattle Seahawks. I will get this saved. Thank you again once more for watching. We will see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time, for more MLB 11, the show. Subscribe, ring the bell, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we will catch you tomorrow. Wait for this to be done. We will bid you adieu. Goodbye. The power of the PlayStation 2 compels you to save this game. Thank you. Have a great one, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.